Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today is a good day. Sun is shining and we are making chicken wings. Any day that has chicken wings is a good day. So if any of you were on the live stream a couple of weeks ago, you might have heard me talking about a recipe I was trying out for chicken wings, which was salt and chili chicken wings. So similar to the salt and chili chicken you would get in sort of Chinese cuisine, I wanted to try and add that flavour onto a chicken wing. Not sure where the idea came from. I love salt and chili chicken, but thought put it onto a chicken wing might work well. They worked okay on the stream, but we had to do a little bit of tweaking to the recipe, so this is the final tweaked recipe. So the way we're going to do this is get them into a seasoned flour, and that is going to give us a nice crispy coating on the outside. I have had the wings soaking in buttermilk overnight, roughly around half a pint of buttermilk, just mixed through them, give them a mix up every now and again. So we're going to get them off, take any excess off them, dip them into the seasoned flour, and then they're going to go onto the grill. Now in here I have just plain flour. There's just over half a cup of plain flour and about half a teaspoon of baking powder. And we're going to season it up with the salt and pepper rub from the Smoky Carter. So this is the same one I used on the stream. This has all the flavours you would expect from salt and chili chicken. So rather than making up my own, this is already pre-made in a bottle, saves loads of time. So flour and baking powder's in here. I'm going to add lid thing stuck to it. About 2 to 3 tablespoons of rub into the flour. It might seem like a lot for wings, but whenever it's mixed through the flour, it dilutes down the flavour quite a lot. You don't get it's not as strong as if you were applying it straight to the wings themselves. So I think, yeah, it's about 3 tablespoons. And then what we'll do is just use a fork to mix that through the flour. It'll probably disappear into the flour, you'll not really see it in there, trust me, it's there. You'll notice the slightest little bit of it. So we'll mix that up. Perfect, so that's ready to go. Set up a little production line here. And my wings. And a tray and to put the wings into once they're coated. We'll put on some gloves for this part. Not the usual black gloves, but you take what you can get in these days. So I'm going to try and use the clean hand, dirty hand method. So this hand will go into the buttermilk, lift it out in here. This hand takes them out of the flour and in here. Keeps one hand clean, stops making such a mess of your flour. So these are just regular wings, just cut into drums and flats and then soaked. Again, you don't want to take all the buttermilk off, you want a little bit on there because that's what's going to bind the flour to them. So into the flour, sprinkle it over. Shake off any excess. That's what you want, just a nice coating on them, not too much, not too little. Set that into your tray. So we'll get that done with all of these, and then we'll talk about how the barbecue's set up and how we're going to cook them. Okay, our wings are all coated in that seasoning, ready to go into the grill. Barbecue set up, we're cooking these hot, we're not smoking them low and slow, so I have the Kamado Joe set up to just over 200, sitting around 220-ish. It's got both deflector plates in there, grills on the highest level. If you're doing these on something like a kettle, you probably want to go for something like the bullseye method. So all your coals gather together in the centre, get them screaming hot, and wings going to cooking great around the outside of that. You probably want to cook a little bit hotter too, so if you can get the temperature up closer to around 250 or so, that's going to really help crisp up these skins. With the Kamado Joe sitting at 220-ish, you're still getting radiant heat from that heat deflector plate as well. So it's kind of a nice mix between a grilled and a smoked wing. So we'll get them on, start cooking, and then we're actually going to have to come back and hit them with a little bit of spray oil. So this is olive oil, you can use rapeseed oil. If you don't have it in a spray, you can just brush it onto them. But the oil is going to really help finish off that coating. So we'll get these onto the barbecue, and then we'll check back in whenever we need to turn them and put some of that oil onto them, and I'll talk you through what you need to do then. Okay, our wings have had about 10 minutes on this side. We're going to spray them now with a little bit of this oil. This could get smoky. Just need a little bit and avoid getting it down into your fire. So, and once you've done that, it's time to flip them over. We'll go do the other side with the oil. So you may have hot spots, end up with little gnarly charred bits like this. Absolutely fine. Be gentle with them too. Some of them might not be ready to come away from the grate, so just go easy with them. A couple of the ones that are a little more well done, move them into the centre, and we're going to hit them with a little bit of oil, and that should be enough then to finish them off. Coating is mostly intact. Lost a few bits and pieces, but not too bad. They're still going to crisp up nicely. So we'll close that down, let them smoke again, and then we'll come back and finish them off. Okay, so while our wings are finishing off, let's talk about what we're going to toss them in there at the end. On the stream, we done soya sauce with a little bit of salt and chili powder in there, and a little bit of garlic. But it turned out a little bit too salty, so I've changed it up. We're still using soya sauce as it's the sort of key ingredient, but that's going to give us our saltiness. I'm not adding any extra salt to it. I also have then about half a teaspoon of hot chili powder, half a teaspoon of chili flakes, and half a teaspoon of garlic granules. So we're just going to add that in there and give it all a mix about. So that's good to go. Just need to wait for the wings to come up in temperature now. We're aiming for an internal temperature of around 82°C. Always like to take wings that little bit higher. And we're going to get them off onto a cooling rack. Again, don't set them into a bowl or onto a chopping board because it'll just soften up your coating. So we'll test the wings onto a cooling rack, let them cool for a little bit just before we toss them in this. We'll go dig in. So once they've been on the cooling rack for a little while, to let that coating tack up and really sort of become crispy. You don't want it soggy before you add them into the soy sauce mixture. Put them into the bowl, toss them around, make sure everything gets nice and evenly coated. There's not a lot in there, so once you toss them around, it just gives a sort of fine glaze over the top of them. Soy sauce is quite a strong flavour, so you don't want loads of it on there, so maybe not as much as you would usually put on if you were using a sauce, for example. So they're ready. The heat from the wings has sort of tacked the soy sauce up to the surface. It is time to give them a try. We'll go with this one here. So there's just the slightest little glaze over the top of it. Coating is still nice and crispy. Let's go. The salt is much better. The dark soy sauce is nowhere near salty as the light stuff was. It's a little bit stickier. The heat is there. That hot chili powder and the chili flakes in there. It takes a little minute for it to come through, but then you just get that little tingle in the back of your tongue. Still not that hot, but it's definitely there, better than it was before. The last time it was just took over by salt. And that coating has stayed super crispy. There's those little gnarly chunky bits on it. Love them. It's nice to see they're just as messy to eat as other wings are as well. So if you want to give the recipe a try, I will put it onto my website. Link will be in the description below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.